Hamilton Farm is a private golf club hidden in the horse country of Gladstone, New Jersey, less than an hour's drive from Manhattan. It offers members not only one of the finest golfing experiences available anywhere, but a pedigree that is unique even among the world's finest clubs. We embody tradition, elegance, and a level of quiet luxury that is all but vanished from modern life. There is a palpable sense of history at Hamilton Farm, a living connection with an earlier time. The gracious personal service offered by the staff brings to mind the 1920s. Our meticulous, handcrafted amenities place the emphasis on individual comfort and personalized attention to detail. We go to great lengths to be sure that when members arrive, they feel as if they're being welcomed home. Hamilton Farm's members enjoy a unique blend of privacy and community. They are proud to belong to this remarkable club and view membership as both an honor and a privilege. Ultimately, this is because Hamilton Farm follows one simple rule: we offer only the best in everything. Hamilton Farm was founded by James Cox Brady, a financier from New York City. He bought the original 180 acres in 1911 and named the place for his wife, Elizabeth Jane Hamilton. By the mid-1920s, the farm had grown to 5,000 acres. It grew everything from corn to barley, raised everything from Dorset sheep to German Shepherd dogs, and its prime livestock won top awards nationwide. Hamilton Farm was a showplace. The residence was furnished with the finest antiques and works of art. The grounds and gardens were planted with hand-picked exotic trees and shrubs, and farming was carried out with the most sophisticated machinery available. Farming operations ended after Brady's death in 1927, but his heirs kept the property and the buildings intact. Hamilton Farm opened as a private golf club in 2001, and today is a thriving, exclusive community spreading over 650 acres. Though its life as a golf club is just beginning, its long history remains the foundation of its character. Put very simply, Hamilton Farm is a place for serious golf. Designed by the firm of Dr. Michael Herdzin and Dana Fry, its two 18-hole courses make the most of the secluded Somerset County landscape. Holes play through open fields, ponds and streams, riding trails and stands of mature hardwoods. At every turn, golf at Hamilton Farm is an experience to delight the eye and enrich the spirit. Each course has its own distinctive character. The Highlands, at 7,131 yards, is a big, rolling, stunningly beautiful championship course. It offers a layout with challenges suited to the most skilled golfer. The Highlands features natural planting, difficult rough, long, sweeping fairways, and holes with remarkably individual personalities. Consider number 6, Bull Barn. This 451-yard par 4 has the widest fairway on the course, but deep bunkers push into it on the left. The green sits directly in front of an old stone barn. A bent grass collar around the green flows directly into the barn's foundation, less than 10 yards from the putting surface. Playing to the left side of the green is recommended. The Hickory, a sparkling jewel at 3,080 yards, is the only USGA-rated par 3 course in the world. Its small scale is deceptive, for here is a course that challenges every golfer's favorite shot. Members comment that the Hickory puts more demands on their short game than any other course they've played. Tiger Woods played several rounds here and never broke par. But in spite of its challenges, the Hickory is a fun course, even for beginners. Both the Hickory and the Highlands feature bent grass on tees, greens, and fairways. The rough is bluegrass, while the secondary rough is a combination of native grasses and fescue. Both courses also feature unusually deep, sculpted bunkers with high sand flashing. This is an older, more dramatic style of bunkering. It creates a natural look, ideally suited to the Hamilton Farm setting. Such outstanding courses deserve a world-class staff. And on this score, Hamilton Farm raises the bar once again. This combination of ingeniously crafted courses and world-class staff makes golf at Hamilton Farm both alluring and contagious. Some members point out that they rarely played before joining, yet now the sport has become a regular part of their lives. A round of golf begins and ends in the clubhouse, and the one at Hamilton Farm is well suited to the club's character. It began as an athletics building for indoor sports. Today, the remodeled structure offers a dining room, library, meeting room, pro shop, men's and women's locker rooms, bar, and lounges. When members wish overnight accommodations, they stay in the mansion. Built in 1921, this 64-room Georgian manor house offers 10 fully appointed suites with beautiful views, most overlooking the Highlands course. The mansion offers a level of traditional elegance and service found only in the finest hotels. Members can take full advantage of its drawing room, library, wine cellar, and terrace, any of which can be reserved for meetings or private dining. Hamilton Farm takes great pride in breaking the old rule about mixing business with pleasure. In fact, the freedom to arrange corporate golf outings may be one of the most popular member benefits. Nearly any room in the mansion or clubhouse can be reserved for private meetings or dining experiences. The mansion also provides a dedicated conference room with traditional business appointments. A helipad on the grounds gives members quick access from surrounding areas, under an hour from the Hamptons, and about 20 minutes from Manhattan. Members quickly realize that Hamilton Farm is as much a business retreat as it is a golf club. Hamilton Farm provides a range of activities that can make membership a true family experience. Special events and programs are scheduled throughout the year, and not just for golfers. The Christmas party and the Halloween party are a favorite among children. And for many, the 4th of July barbecue is the high point of the summer. Hamilton Farm also lends its special touch to personal events. Weddings, parties, wine tastings, and intimate dinners all receive our signature attention to detail. To encourage the next generation of golfers, the club offers a junior golf program focusing on skill, etiquette, and the traditions of the game. Junior golfers compete with other clubs in the area and have distinguished themselves admirably in local Challenge Cup matches. Since 1961, the Hamilton Farm Stable has been home to the United States Equestrian Team. When first constructed in 1916, this stable was the largest and most lavish equestrian facility in the country. It was made of steel-reinforced brick and stucco, with tiled walls, terrazzo floors, and brass fittings, and it remains largely unchanged to this day. Every year, the site hosts a variety of local and national riding events, but the Equestrian Center is also open to club members. With over 3 miles of horse trails, Hamilton Farm is a beautiful place to ride year-round.
I like big boy courses, and I know that could be big girl courses too, but I like a course where if you stand on a tee, or if you stand in the middle of the fairway or the green and look around you, there's something about the course that's formidable, that it feels like you could have a golf tournament there or a major championship there. And there are several courses in the area that I would label as big boy courses, and Hamilton Farm is one of them. For me these days, having a great choice and having access to play a lot of golf courses, it's about the course first, it's about the facility second, and then it's about convenience. And the course at Hamilton Farm, I feel as if depending on which tee you decide to play on any given day, the course changes dramatically. And I love that. I don't want to be bored by a course, and I'm never bored by the course there. Facility-wise, I mean, it has a clubhouse that you have to see to believe. it's not only got the main course, it has the short course. And then it's got the mansion. So, I mean, if you can't find something that interests you in this gorgeous setting in the middle of horse country in New Jersey, then you're probably not a real fan of the game of golf. I think because of where it's built and the history of the place and the surroundings, this horse country, this equestrian center, you've got some great par threes that are as challenging as any of the par threes you'll play anywhere in the area. But I also love a course where par fives give you options. And, you know, I'm a fairly good golfer and a fairly long hitter, and there are a couple of par fives at Hamilton Farm where I absolutely have a chance to go for the green in 2 and absolutely have a chance to make eagle if I hit a good second shot. But the risk-reward quotient is high, and if you hit a bad second shot, you can make 6 or 7. You know, the ninth hole comes to mind there right off the bat, and that is that if you hit a couple of great shots, well, isn't it nice to finish 9 holes with an eagle? But if at 9 you hit a bad second shot, you are absolutely looking at bogey or double bogey. And those are the kinds of things that keep me coming back to a course that don't get me bored. As I said, the par threes, I think, are as good as anywhere. And I love the fact that on this course they've taken advantage of some of the outbuildings that were a part of the old equestrian center. And so you get a sense that you aren't in an area where some golf architect walked in with a bulldozer and said, let's get rid of everything that was here that's part of the history and tradition of this area, and let's build a golf course. They said, what is the history and tradition of this area? Let's build a golf course around it. So that makes it more interesting on a lot of levels for me. It's a very atypical golf setting. And I also like the fact that, you know, too often these days when you get fairly new golf courses, they are surrounded by massive housing projects. And so you've got buildings everywhere, and you're hitting between mansions or condos or whatever. And that's not the case at Hamilton Farm. You have an occasional house that you can see in the distance, but for the most part, this is about golf, and it's about the natural setting and not disturbing it and making it a part of the golf experience. I can get done with the Today Show at 10 o'clock in the morning. I can, you know, jump in a car here, and 50 minutes later, I can pull in the front gates of Hamilton Farm. But the interesting thing about the drive there is it's a decompression drive. You know, you start off in Midtown Manhattan. You go through the tunnel. You get to on one of the highways in New Jersey, and slowly you can start to feel the tension releasing from your body. And by the time you get down into the countryside surrounding Hamilton Farm, and by the time you pull in the front gates, now you're ready to play golf. You know, the stress is 40, 50 miles behind you, and now you're looking around at this scenery, and you know, I'll never forget, you pull through those gates and you look off to the right there, and there's that beautiful horse barn, and you pull up to that incredible clubhouse, and you know, the guy walks up and says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Lauer," or whatever, and they take your clubs, and it just goes like clockwork from there on in. The way you were treated the minute you get out of your car, or, you know, I've seen people flying in helicopters at Hamilton Farm. But the way you're treated the minute your feet touch the grounds is, to me, an extremely important part of the overall golf experience. I don't want to feel as if I'm part of some assembly line, that, you know, they're rushing me in, getting me to the range, getting me on the tee so that the next guy can go through and they don't want me to slow him up. You feel as if it's tailored to the individual. There's an enormous amount of attention paid to, you know, personal care. And asking you if everything's all right. What can we do better? The caddy program is about as good as anywhere in the area. You've got people, I remember playing there one day with a guy, and I wish I could think of his name, but you know, somewhere during the first couple of holes, I usually like to turn to my caddy and say, what's your handicap? Sometimes I do it on the first tee. It's an important question for me because it tells me immediately what I'm dealing with. If I got a guy who says, well, I really don't play the game, now I'm going to say, okay, when we get to that first green and I ask him to read a putt, I'm not going to pay that much attention to it. When I get a guy who says, well, I'm a great amateur player, as a matter of fact, I'm playing in the Northeast Open next week, or I'm playing for this amateur title, all of a sudden, now I've got a playing partner. I've got someone who can shepherd me through the round, who knows the course better than I do and can help me out and give me advice. That's a great part of the program. But down to the pro shop, to the restaurant, to the locker room, it's just a wonderfully caring, helpful atmosphere. And, you know, at the end of the day, you can play great or you can play poorly, but you want to walk away from the course feeling as if you've had some kind of overall positive, good experience. And it's impossible not to have that feeling at Hamilton Farm.
The golf experience itself is exceptional, not just because of the quality of the layout, which is wonderful, but the condition of the grounds and the beauty of the environment. It always surprises people, I think, when you go out of town and you tell people you're from the New York area and that you're a golfer. They're like, oh, that's terrible, where do you play? And it always amuses me because you really do want to tell them, we don't play between the skyscrapers. We do have some wonderful venues. And as you know, one of the beauties of Hamilton Farm is that it is so accessible in New York City, but you are very much in the countryside. It's a quiet place. It's on those days when you're not playing well, you can simply smell the roses. It's a place that I find very relaxing. It's a great environment in which to be. It's the kind of place that when I go out with my friends, I'm proud to take them there. Every time I go out to play there, I find that I do hit virtually every club in the bag. And it is a golf course that you could play with a degree of regularity without getting tired of it. There are some tracks, quite frankly, that the more you play them, the more you consider taking up tennis. Hamilton Farm isn't one of them. It's very playable, but it's not something that you're going to eat up. And if you're going out there simply so you can walk home and say, hey, I beat the hell out of some golf course today, you ought to try to find another golf course. I go on the road and I tell people the club has one course that is totally par 3, that is totally rated and handicapped and everything else, and it's the only one on the planet. And they look at me like I'm talking Greek. Like, well, what are we talking about? Just one set of tees with 3 different holes? It's like, no, we're talking 18 different holes, and you can hit everything from a pitching wedge to a 3-wood. I've taken friends over there and spent the night. And we've made a weekend of it, or made an evening and another day of it, and we love it. I mean, I think the service is first class. Staying there is not unlike staying at a Four Seasons or at a Ritz-Carlton. The rooms are extraordinary. The decor is exceptional, and as I think I said before, the service is just incomparable. People go out of their way to make sure that your needs are met and that your wishes are anticipated. And I've had great times bringing buddies out there, and the only problem is they get spoiled and they want to come back, and that has its limits.
Somerset County. Welcome to one of New Jersey's hidden gems. Less than 1 hour from downtown Manhattan, nestled in the rolling hills and farm fields of Somerset County, New Jersey, you can take a step back in time. When you visit the charming town of Gladstone and its sister community, Peapack, it's easy to imagine horse-drawn carriages traveling at a leisurely pace past the historic 18th and 19th century buildings, working farms, and beautifully restored stables that still make up the local landscape. Despite its prominence today as the nation's most affluent county, the countryside here has changed little throughout the last century, with wide tracts of woodlands and miles of riding trails providing a scenic backdrop to quiet residential neighborhoods. This peaceful area of northern New Jersey holds many attractions for sophisticated travelers from around the world. The training grounds for the United States Equestrian Team, located at Hamilton Farm, hold a special appeal for horse enthusiasts. The nearby borough of Far Hills is home to the United States Golf Association Museum and Archives, as well as the prestigious Far Hills Race Meeting and Breeders' Cup Steeplechase.